Hello. Are you here for your reflexology treatment today? Wonderful. I'll be your therapist. Have you ever had reflexology before? Would you like me to tell you a little bit more about it before we begin? Okay. Well, to start off, let's have you sit comfortably in this massage chair. Yes, we have a nice comfortable massage chair so your back can be massaged while I'm working on your feet. Does that sound good? Okay, wonderful. Well, reflexology is based on the idea that energy flows throughout the body, and when energy flows freely, physical and mental well-being is maintained. We work on your feet in order to balance out that energy. If energy flow becomes blocked or stagnant, we can become unwell and unhappy. And with reflexology, we believe that all of the parts of the body are reflected in the feet. And by working certain pressure points on your feet, we can clear any blockages that you may have in the energy throughout your body. We will, I will be applying some gentle pressure to your feet. These are your reflex points, and this will stimulate energy flow and release any blockages you may have. So basically, if you place your feet together and someone looks at the sole of your feet, it pretty accurately maps out your body. So your head would be where your toes are, and your gluteals, your buttocks would be down at the heel. And then there are a few points on the front of your feet and around your ankles as well. Okay? So if anything hurts, let me know. It may be a blockage, maybe an area that I want to work a bit more gently, but focus on a bit more because it may reflect some issues going on in other parts of your body. Okay? Does that sound like something you'd be interested in? Okay, great. So do let me know if anything is tender. And if I feel any small granules, like if I can feel anything crunchy around the reflex, that may also be accumulated waste, which has solidified in the form of calcium crystals. And so I can gently work those areas to help break down waste deposits and restore free-flowing energy. Okay? Before we begin, you have the massage chair turned on. Is that comfortable for you? Is the heat at the right level? Is it hitting all the parts of your back that you would like? Okay, great. Can I get you anything to drink? We have a wide variety. We have various non-caffeinated teas. I would recommend not going with caffeine during the massage, but I'm happy to get you something with caffeine after the massage. But having said that, this is your massage, so I will get you anything you want to drink that you would like. So we have various herbal teas. We have some rooibos, a really nice vanilla rooibos tea. We have fruit juices, orange juice, cranberry juice, apple juice. We have water. We have water with cucumber. We have water with lemon. And I can add honey to any of the teas or any of the waters. Some people like lemon and honey in their water. We have caffeinated coffee. We have decaf coffee. We have wine. We have red or white. I believe our red today is a Merlot, and our white is a Chardonnay in the fridge. You okay for now with your water? Okay, I'm happy to get you anything that you would like. Just let me know. Alright, great. So if you're comfortable, we have 2 different lotions available that we can do your reflexology with. I do have an unscented lotion if you're allergic to anything, but from looking at your medical forms, it doesn't look like you're allergic to anything, correct? Okay. So it's always nice to do a scent on your feet. Again, just to make our feet smell nice at the end of this as well. So I have 2 different options. The first is a warm vanilla sugar. You want to have a smell of that? Oh, it smells so good. I love this. I actually have this in a full body lotion as well. And my husband always makes fun of me because he says if he uses it, he smells like a sugar cookie. And I tell him that most women would actually want him to smell like a sugar cookie. At least I know I do. So both of these lotions have vitamin E, jojoba, and shea butter. So this is the warm vanilla sugar. I prefer to use lotion to oil because again it does not leave your feet as greasy. I'm going to put a light coat on to begin with the massage portion, and then I'm going to stop using it for the reflexology so that your feet are a little bit drier. It's a little bit easier to work deeper. The second scent is a coconut lime breeze. So let me have you smell that too. Yeah, I like that. Here, give me your hand, and I'll put a little bit of this on your right hand. Yeah, and then a little bit of the warm vanilla sugar on your other hand. And then you can smell each and see what you think you'd prefer. Coconut lime breeze. I think that is an excellent choice for your feet. It's a little bit more invigorating, which is nice for a reflexology massage. Sort of afterwards, you'll have this pick-me-up from the smell of your feet whenever you walk around all day. Okay? All right. So if you are ready, I'm going to get started with the massage portion and then move on to the reflexology. Okay? All right, so I'm going to start off just by doing some long stroking movements on your foot, just working in the lotion. Okay. On both feet. Alright, and I'm going to start on your left foot, and I'm just going to reach underneath your foot and do a spreading motion on the top of your foot, drawing my thumbs off sideways, keeping my fingers still underneath your foot. Okay. I'm going to work from the arch of your foot all the way up to your toes, and then back down to your ankle. Okay, and I'm going to again reach underneath your foot and draw my fingers off sideways underneath your foot, keeping my thumbs still. So now I'm dragging my fingers on the sole of your feet. Again, working from the ball of your foot up to your toes, and then back down to your ankles. Okay, now I'm going to massage into the ball of the foot with both of my thumbs. And then I'm going to to knead your foot like I was kneading dough and work into the sole of the foot using the lower section of my fingers. Okay. So using both my hands, just kneading your foot like it was bread dough. Okay. Now I'm going to rotate your ankle. Rotate the foot counterclockwise a few times and then clockwise. Not going too fast, nice and slow. Not pushing your foot hard. Don't want to aggravate any stiff ankles. Okay. And now I'm going to massage both sides of your foot, running my hand up and down the whole length of the foot. I'm going to put a little bit more lotion on my hands. Okay. Now again I'm going to move my move my hands on the sides of your feet and alternate them up and down from the top of your foot by your toe to soles of your feet, kind of rocking your foot back and forth so it tips from side to side. Okay, just rocking your foot. Loosening up the ankle. Now let your foot just go free, let it waggle around. Okay, now I'm going to rotate your toes. One at a time, clockwise and then counterclockwise. Supporting your foot with my other hand. Okay, now to relax your diaphragm, I'm going to hold your foot, bring it down on the thumb of my hand. Right underneath the ball of your foot. Just pressing your foot into my thumb instead of my thumb into your foot. So just pulling down lightly on your foot over and over, moving my thumb so it's underneath different parts of the ball of your foot. I'm going to place my hand on your ankle, other hand grasping with my fingers underneath the arch of your foot and just twisting your foot back and forth gently, almost like I was doing a spinal twist. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to move to your other foot and do the same thing. So, I'm just going to reach underneath your foot and spread my thumbs across the top of your foot, keeping my fingers still underneath, working from the arch of your foot up to your toes, and then back down to your ankles. And now with the same grip on the arch of your foot, but keeping my thumbs stable and moving my fingers underneath your foot, all across your sole, moving up to your toes, and then back down to your ankle. And now, using my thumbs to massage the ball of your foot, small circles all across the ball of your foot. How's that pressure feel so far? You doing okay? Don't let me hurt you. If anything really hurts, let me know. Okay, now I'm going to knead your foot like it was dough. Working into the sole of the foot, using my fingers. Okay, and now rotating your ankle, counterclockwise and clockwise. And then with my palms on either side of your foot, massage both sides of the foot, running my hands up and down the whole length of the foot. Now I'm going to alternate my hands so that your foot tips from side to side. Okay, just let your foot be loose. Let it wobble around between my hands. Just loosening up your ankle. Okay, and now rotating your toes, clockwise and counterclockwise. Keep breathing. This is your time to relax. Okay, now, using my thumb underneath the ball of your foot, I'm going to pull your foot in towards my thumb. It gives some extra movement to your ankle and your foot while massaging the sole of your foot. This also relaxes your diaphragm. We want you to breathe evenly and deeply. This will help your diaphragm to take those cleansing deep breaths. Okay. And now grasping your ankle and very gently twisting your foot by grabbing the arch of your foot with my other hand and just twisting in opposite directions very, very gently. I'm not going to force anything. It's a very gentle movement. And now placing one thumb on each foot in the little indentation between the pad underneath your big toe and the pad underneath your other 4 toes. There's a natural dent there. Take a deep breath in, and I will press in with my thumbs. And release as you breathe out. Okay. Now that's important because that soothes and relaxes your whole body, gets you ready for the reflexology treatment itself. Now the reflex points won't be strained. The tissue will react smoothly and fully. And it allows you to relax as well. Okay. So again, I'm going to start on your left foot. Pressing in on the diaphragm point. I won't use any more of the lotion at this point, so I'm going to shut that. And I'm going to place my right thumb on the edge of the foot so that it's on the big toe side. Sorry, working on your right foot. My right hand just below the pad underneath your big toe and the ball of your foot. I'm going to walk my thumb across the sole in a crawling motion, remaining just below the ball. digging in gently but firmly. And now holding that solar plexus point in that natural indentation. I'm going to turn my thumb so it points towards your toes and press 3 times on the solar plexus reflex. Then I'm going to continue to crawl with my thumb towards the outer edge of the foot, just underneath the ball of the foot. I'm going to cup your heel with my left hand and use my right thumb to crawl up the outside of the big toe, going over the toe and down the inner edge in a horseshoe type shape, and then crawling up the back of the big toe from the base to the top, covering the entire surface area of the toe. Now I'm going to use my right index finger to crawl down the front of the big toe, using my thumb to keep the toe steady, crawling from the top of the toe to the base, covering the entire surface area. Again, let me know if anything feels tender, as it will let me know where you may have some blockages. Now I'm going to place my index finger on the base of the big toe at the edge of the foot and walk around the front of the big toe until I reach the joint between the big and second toes. Now I'm going to use my thumb to crawl around the back of the toe again, starting from the edge of the foot and stopping at the second toe. That's the front and back of the neck. And now moving on to the pituitary gland. I'm going to place my right thumb in the center of the widest point in the big toe and press deeply on the reflex here 3 times. Now I'm going to place my index finger in between the big and second toes, angling it towards the second toe. I'm going to finger walk up the second toe and down the other side, making a horseshoe shape again. Moving on to each of your other toes the same way, just going over each toe like it was a hill with my finger. Now supporting your toes with my left hand, I'm going to walk my thumb up the back of each toe, starting at the base and crawling up the center line to the top. When I reach the pad of the toe, I'm going to press in and slide my thumb up to the top. Now using my index finger, I'm going to walk down the front of each toe, starting at the top, supporting the base of the toe, crawling down each of your toes to cover the entire area. I'm going to cup your heel again and use my index finger and thumb to pinch and release the webbing between the big and second toes, and then on the webbing in between each of your toes in turn. Now placing my index finger between the big toe and the second toe, I'm going to slide the finger down the groove on the top of the foot, about half of its length, halfway down your foot, and then pulling back up. That is your lymphatic glands, and it helps everything move throughout your body. Now, using my left hand to hold the top of the toes and bend them back slightly, this will expose the ridge on the sole underneath the toes. Starting on the inner edge of the foot, I'm going to use my right thumb to crawl along the ridge to the outer edge, using a bit of pressure here, so let me know if anything hurts. And now, cupping your heel with my left hand, I'm going to use my thumb to crawl along the diaphragm line at the base of the ball of your foot, starting at the inner edge of the foot and thumb walk until I'm directly in line with that indentation again for your solar plexus. And then moving my thumb again outwards underneath the ball of the foot. Now I'm going to gently grasp the top of the toes, placing my right thumb on the diaphragm line at the edge of the foot. My thumb is pointing up towards your big toe. I'm going to use my thumb to make a crawling movement up the ball of the foot to the base of the big toe. So I'm going to cover the entire ball of your foot this way, just crawling my thumb up from that line underneath the ball of your foot to the base of each toe until I reach the little toe. Are you doing okay? Okay, great. Now, I'm going to use my right thumb to crawl across the foot from the inner edge to the outer edge, underneath the ball of the foot in a straight line, crawling from the inside of your foot to the outside of your foot, and then moving down until I reach the center of your arch. And continuing to move down with my thumb underneath the midline of your foot, moving down towards your heel. Once I reach the top of your heel area, I'm going to support the foot at the toes and use my right thumb to crawl up through the heel pad. So starting from the bottom of your heel, working all the way up to the top of your heel. going up from the bottom to the top of your heel. And now moving my hand underneath your heel, my right hand, I'm going to crawl the left thumb down the inner edge of the foot, starting from the first joint of the big toe. I'm going to work all the way down to the heel, following the bone. The inside of your foot mimics the spine, so following the way the bone arches along with your foot. Now I'm going to crawl back upwards with my right thumb, cradling your heel with my left hand. Now cupping your heel firmly with my left hand, I'm going to thumb walk down the length of the outside edge of your foot. Moving from the base of your little toe all the way down to the heel, and then working back up to the toe along the same line. And now, holding the base of your toes with my left hand, I'm going to use my right thumb on the center of your foot, pointing towards your toes and crawling up just a bit underneath your second and third toe. That's your kidney reflex. I'm going to press that twice and rotate the thumb in a circle. Now, turning the left thumb to point towards the heel pad. I'm going to crawl up the inner side of the foot, hitting the fleshy mound, which is the bladder reflex. Pressing on this 3 times and circling. Now, continuing to cup the heel with the right hand, I'm going to place my left thumb on the kidney reflex again and move the thumb across the foot so that it's directly below the second toe. With my thumb pressing towards your heel, I'm going to hook the flesh and then pull back towards the toes. Now holding the toes with one hand, I'm going to place my thumb the inside of your ankle, pressing all around your ankle, underneath the ankle bone. Just circling around in the area. And then circling around the outside of the ankle on the other side of your foot, again underneath the actual ankle bone, not pressing on the bones, being gentle. And then crawling across the top of the foot, the crease line between the leg and the foot, working from the outside ankle to the inner ankle area. And cupping your heel in my left hand, I'm going to use my index finger to crawl down the top of the foot from the base of the toe, about halfway down the front of your foot, in between each of your toes. And now, starting at the edge of the right heel, I'm going to walk up the right sole to the middle of the foot. And then thumb walk across until I'm in line with toes 4 and 5. Crawling down to the heel pad. And moving across a little way till the thumb is in line with toes 3 and 4. Then turning the thumb to point towards the heel, making 3 deep pressure circles. Now I'm going to move on to your other foot. Are you ready? Okay. Cupping your left foot with my left hand, I'm going to place my thumb on the edge of the foot and go underneath the ball of your foot with my thumb, pausing at that indentation between the ball of your feet and pressing in, and then continuing to move across to the outside edge of your foot. And now, using my left thumb to crawl up the outside of your left big toe, going over the top and down the inner edge as if it were a hill, and crawling up the back of the big toe from the base to the top with my thumb, covering the entire surface area. And then using my index finger down the front of your big toe, crawling from the tip down to the base of the toe, crawling all across the front of your big toe. And now, using my thumb underneath the edge of your big toe, finger walking around the front of the big toe until I reach the second toe. Again, that's the front and the back of the neck. And using my thumb to crawl around the back of the toe again, starting from the edge of the foot and stopping when I reach the second toe. And now placing my thumb in the center of the widest part of the big toe and pressing deeply into the pituitary reflex. And then placing my right index finger between your first and second toe, walking up the second toe and down the other side, and then continuing up and down the third toe all the way to your pinky toe. And pushing your toes back a bit, thumb walking up the back of each toe, starting at the base and crawling up the center line to the top, pressing my thumb into the pad of each toe gently, and then using my index finger to walk down the front of each toe. Using my index finger and thumb to pinch and release in between each toe, working gently, and then placing my index finger between the big toe and second toe, sliding my finger down the groove on the top of the foot, about halfway down, and back up. Now again, pushing the toes back, working my thumb underneath the base of the toes, walking my thumb across, this is the eyes and the ears. And now, using the thumb of my left hand, crawl along underneath the ball of the foot, again pressing in at that indentation, and then thumb walking all the way up the ball of the foot to the base of the toes, covering the entire ball of the foot. This covers the thyroid, parathyroid, and thymus, making sure to cover the entire area. Crawling up to the base of each toe, moving from the big toe to the little toe. And then turning my thumb to work from the inside of the foot to the outside of the foot, crawling along underneath the ball of the foot, all the way down to the midline, working all the way across in a straight line, and then moving down to cover the next area. Continuing down to the heel of the foot. And then again, turning my thumb so it's facing up towards the toes, and working from the heel of the toe, from the bottom all the way to the top of the heel, supporting the foot with my right hand, working the entire area. And now, cupping the heel with my left hand, crawling the right thumb down the inner edge of the foot, along the spine of your foot, following the bone, and then switching hands to cup your heel with my right hand, using my left thumb to walk down the outer edge of your foot from your pinky toe all the way down to the heel, and then back up. And now, moving up slightly from the midline of your foot, underneath your second and third toe, one little crawl up the foot to the kidney reflex, pressing twice, rotating the thumb, and then moving up a bit higher to the soft pad that is the bladder point. up your heel, moving back down to the kidney reflex, and then moving my thumb across the foot so that it's underneath the second toe. Grasping your toes with my fingers and pulling up with my thumb. That's the adrenal gland reflex. And then working underneath the inside of your ankle, underneath your ankle bone with small, hard circles. And then switching to the outside of your foot underneath the ankle with small, hard circles. And then using my thumb to crawl across the top of the foot where the foot bends at the end of your leg, crawling across from the outside of the ankle to the inside. And then taking my index finger and sliding down about 1.5 inches down from in between each of your toes on the top of your foot, just sliding down, crawling your finger down and crawling back up. And then thumb walking down from the midline of your foot, crawl across, turning the thumb and moving down to the heel, and crawling inside the left foot with 3 deep pressure circles, allowing your foot to relax. And now just letting your foot relax, pulling with my hands, grasping the top of your foot with one hand and the sole with the other, and pulling up to the toes just gently on each foot, just smoothing my hands across each foot. And then moving back to your right foot and grasping the toes with my right hand and pushing the top of the foot towards the leg, just stretching the toes backwards towards your head, giving a good stretch to the sole. And then placing my thumbs on the heel of the foot, just massaging with circles of my thumb, alternating thumbs, working my way up from the heel to the ball of the foot, just gently, not using the kind of pressure used in reflexology. This is just a relaxer. Massaging the top of the foot, using my 2 middle fingers to make circular movements, starting at the groove between the big and second toe and working down the entire foot to the ankle, working across the foot till I reach the little toe. Then placing my hands on either side of the foot with my fingertips near the ankle bone. Now massage in a clockwise direction around both ankle bones at the same time, just moving all the way around the ankle bones. And then going back the opposite direction. Now placing my hands on either side of the foot, just rocking your foot back and forth, up using opposite hands just to rock your foot. And then placing my thumbs on the sole, facing opposite directions, wrapping my fingers around the top of the foot, sliding my thumbs up the sole, making a crisscross movement. So that first the left thumb slides above the right, and then the right one slides above the left. Starting at the toes and then working down the foot. Now making feather-light strokes on the top and the sole of the foot, using alternate hands. And then switching to your left foot, pushing your toes back towards your head, just gently stretching the sole of your foot. And then placing my thumbs at the heel of the foot, using circles, alternating thumbs, working my way up to the ball of the foot. And then with the middle fingers of both of my hands working in between each toe on the front of the foot, working from the toes up to the ankle. And then moving to the other side of the foot, working between the pinky toe and the fourth toe, and the third toe and the fourth toe, doing small circles in between the bones up to the ankles. And then working with both of my hands on either side of your ankle, going all around the ankle bone, clockwise, and then counterclockwise. And then placing my hands on either side of your foot and just rocking your foot back and forth gently. And placing my thumbs on your sole, just sliding across the sole of your foot with my thumbs, crisscrossing my thumbs, moving from your toes down to your heel. And then slowly stroking the top of your foot with my hand. And then using one hand on each foot, slowly stroking each foot and gently holding your toes for a final deep breath in and out. How are you doing? You're welcome to sit in the massage chair as long as you'd like. When you're ready, be careful getting up as you do have lotion on your feet. We do have your socks right here. So just be careful if you decide to stand up without your socks on. Can I get you anything else to drink? He'd like that glass of wine now, of course, red or white. No problem, I'll bring it right out. Okay, I'll see you soon.